after I said mine, Matt, you go, and Joe goes.
Then you go, then I go.
Oh God.
Can't
Don't just say our names and then we go.
My third or second.
Fine, I'll say your fucking name. Do I have to do that whole thing again?
I need direction. Come on, man.
Yeah, call it to the ring. Call it to the ring.
I was just about to speak then. Hello, and welcome to Thank God It's Smarky. I am Benjamin Young, Ben Young, and I'm with Matt McConnell,
Hello.
Joseph Royal,
Hello.
Sam Kylo Ren Stapleton.
I'm not saying hello just because of
Kylo
that.
Ren.
Why am I Kylo Ren?
I don't know. You angry man.
I look nothing like him.
Angry, angsty teen.
Very angsty.
This is a bonus episode that you can use to get to know us. Because if you don't know us already, then you probably don't know who the fuck we are. Beautiful.
Do you know what isn't beautiful? Fucking
Jeff
Sandman doing a swanton bomb.
Why are you still
still
talking
not-
about Sandman?
Do you know
Just
what
going
ain't
around about
beautiful?
it.
Sandman's not
No, you
relevant in
dare say
2016.
it, Ben. You dare, and I swear
You
to
know
God, I
what
will run
is-
down there and beat you to death.
Do you know what is not beautiful?
What
When
is beautiful,
someone
Ben?
does a senton and it's called a swanton.
Oh, alright then.
Because Jeff
Alright.
named it Swanton. And it looks like...
Well, you go and tell
Stop.
it fucking Mike Tenay
I
whilst he was
fucking-
commentating WCW then, and tell
said-
him that he said that it was a swanton bomb, so you can go and take it up with him.
Oh, hit him.
Who the
Oh.
flying fuck is this?
Alright.
Scotty Riggs.
What are you on about now?
I don't think he
So-
knows what he's on about.
Fucking mixed between Rick Rude, Bobby Roode, and fucking Mason Ryan. He looks like a twat.
So
Don't like him.
rude.
That's so weird to talk
So
about.
much rude.
Very rude.
Mine's
So,
like,
guys, why are you wrestling fans?
I'm not a wrestling fan. It's
Because it's
fucking
really
fake gay
fun,
shit.
and I think it's real, and I like watching people do flippy shit and stuff.
I like half-naked men rolling about on a canvas.
That is also a huge advantage.
You know, it's,
Matt
it's,
Connell, when did you start watching wrestling? And how...
I started
Right.
watching wrestling in 2001, which feels like a fucking age ago. So yes, I've lived through all the fucking horror of John Cena.
You started in 2001. Did you watch Invasion Angle?
I started just after the Invasion Angle. I remember... I can't remember what fucking pay-per-view it was now. I know it was coming up to WrestleMania 18, so it must have been towards the end of it, around sort of November, Survivor
So,
Series time. I
Jer-
know that was the end of the Invasion Angle.
So Jericho's the Undisputed Champion.
Yeah, to my knowledge he was. I just was fascinated with him. My dad used to put it on randomly in the evenings when he came home from the pub, and you know he wasn't a massive fan himself, but he just flicked it on because it was on, and like I was just fascinated by it. Like big dudes fucking hitting each other with chairs and trash cans and putting each other through tables. I was like, Dad, this is awesome. Put it back on now, please. Yeah, since then I just never stopped watching it. There's been times where I've been like a bit burnt out by it, but like it's always been there for me in life, and without going too soppy into it, like it just feels like, you know, that's a big part of me as a person.
Can you remember your first match you watched?
I remember Kane was in it. I can't remember who it was against. Like, bearing in mind I was really young at this time.
Yeah, a lot.
Like, Kane was the first guy I saw, and it's this big, colourful dude. He wore red, which is my favourite colour, and there was fire, and I was like, him! He's awesome!
He is the one!
Matt,
Yo.
Matt. Kane was first person in my match as well.
Oh, wow.
Was
was
Jeff
Kane.
Hardy the second?
No, it was Kane versus The Undertaker versus Stone Cold.
Oh, shit. I remember that match.
That
Like,
was where Kane was prohibited from pinning Undertaker, and Taker was prohibited from
yeah,
pinning Kane.
I can't remember what pay-per-view that was, but that was like
Oh,
99?
that was so good.
98?
It was 98.
98, yeah.
And it was
So-
triple threat steel cage match with The Rock, Shamrock, and Mankind.
That's a good time to be starting on right there.
Like,
I'm quite
I-
jealous that you lived through that, but
the first match was the main event I watched when it was when Kane and Taker pinned Austin and Vince ran off with the title. And I enjoyed it so much I had to take because the person who I watched it was my brother's godfather, and he obviously taped the pay-per-view and he let me take it home, and I watched that whole pay-per-view afterwards.
sweet, man. I remember getting WrestleMania X7 on like VHS because my dad got it imported from like America, and we like got all the proper shit to watch it and that in the UK. And it was I watched that so many times.
I've watched that a million times.
As when I was a kid, I used to just like I'd play it once in the morning, and then like in the evening I'd sit down and watch it again. I loved
did
it
that.
so much.
How good the whole pay-per-view is good, from like the theme song as well, My Way.
Yeah, that really suited it. I always remember the
well
promo between Rock and
Rock
Austin.
and Austin. That was awesome.
It was so fun.
The triple threat TLC match, TLC 2.
Yeah, and I've always considered that TLC match like the one that should be remembered. The
should
one
be.
from 16 isn't bad, but 17 is so much better.
So much better.
What about you guys then? Sam, when did you get into wrestling?
So
What's your history?
my kind of history getting into wrestling is really scattergun because no one in my family really watched it. I think my older brother kind of watched it here and there. I think maybe some people at his school watched it or something like that, and I think he kind of watched it so he could fit in and join those conversations at the time. I don't remember him being a huge fan. But as a result, when we were at my nan's, for whatever reason, recaps of Raw would be on. No idea what year this was, but I remember seeing Rock, Austin, Mankind, Taker, so it was around there somewhere. So that was like my first experience into wrestling, was just watching those recaps. For whatever reason, my mum and her boyfriend at the time seemed to remember. They didn't seem to remember that I liked it, but they remembered that my younger brother liked watching wrestling at my nan's. And so they got him Armageddon 2003 on DVD
That's a good pay.
at some point, which is the one where Evolution stand tall.
Mm.
And that's probably, watching that DVD is like definitely the first proper matches that I remember. So it's quite late. Because Raw, and I think SmackDown as well, because they were both on Sky, we weren't able to watch them for quite some time. Eventually my mum's boyfriend, who seemed to be some kind of closet wrestling fan, seemed to finally admit it to himself. And when we got Sky, just started recording Raw and SmackDown and bought the pay-per-views. So the first thing that I remember watching frequently from when I probably started watching wrestling every single week is I came in at the Batista-Melina rape storyline.
Oh no.
So
Fuck.
Oh.
what a
That's
story to come
2005?
into. That's 2005, yeah, with Batista on SmackDown. For some reason I knew everything that had happened up to that point, but I really don't know how, because there's no way I could have watched it. But I knew all about the Evolution split, Randy winning the title first, Triple H versus Batista, Batista having to choose. Somehow I knew all of that. I don't know how. Maybe I had a friend who was filling me in. Maybe Sean. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I came in. And then I watched pretty much every single week, Raw and SmackDown, and all pay-per-views, because my mum's boyfriend used to buy the ones you had to buy, and obviously you could just record the other ones. And I watched up until 2009, where I stopped watching until the meteoric rise of Daniel Bryan.
Why did you stop watching?
I don't know. It's just, I think it was one of those things where you reach that kind of age, and
You kind of grow out of it.
well, you get, no, not even that you grow out of it. You get this idea that you shouldn't be watching that anymore, and especially as no one
Because you
else.
stopped hanging around with me.
It was that there was literally no one else I knew that still watched wrestling. and it must have been the same for my brother. But I knew no one at school or around who lived near me that still watched wrestling. You did still live there, but we weren't. We stopped hanging out for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah.
You was at sixth form, I was at college.
Yeah, that might be why. But anyway, it reached that point around that time where I just... It might not have even been 2009, it might have been 2008. But yeah, it just got to that point where I didn't know anyone, and so it was like, I can't just follow this by myself, so I stopped watching it. And there you go.
Yeah, I had somewhat of a similar issue with that. Like I mentioned before that I stopped watching for a bit in like 2013. I just had no one to talk about it with. Like throughout life, I had like the occasional friend that I'd managed to come across, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I watch wrestling. I used to watch wrestling, whatever." So I always had someone there to sort of be like, "Oh, did you see it this week?" You know. But at that time, I had no one, and it was such a bad like period of wrestling anyway. Like no matter where you looked in WWE, TNA, even some of the indies, they were just really it was just nothing happening, nothing exciting, nothing to be talking about. I mean, I got back into it as the year went on, when the Shield started when they stopped becoming really big and they went on their singles push. Why don't you take it away, Joe, and then sort of end on your final your Fave 5 or something, and then we'll just go round again.
So, it was 7 years ago. Not 7 years. When I was 7 years old, I should say.
I'm having a heart moment where I look up into the air and I fade back to seeing you at 7 years old.
Oh, gosh. I wish I could see me at 7 years old. Fucking cool bastard. Anyway, my dad was like, "Oh, have you heard about this wrestling thing?" And I was like, "No, what's it?" Because, well, I'm, like, literally nobody, I'd never even heard of wrestling. Wasn't a thing in school. We weren't like you guys in the playground. Like, "Oh, have you guys seen fucking Undertaker and Austin?" But I watched, my dad showed me, probably kind of maliciously actually, a VHS of the Undertaker Mankind King of the Ring match.
Oh, what a match!
And so my first experience with wrestling was Mick Foley almost dying. And I was like, "No, this is not for me. I'm a good Christian boy and I'm not doing this." And I didn't watch wrestling. It was always a thing in the back of my mind, but I always thought it was really cool and malicious. In sixth form, I had a friend, and he was like, "Oh," I'd always hear him talking with his other friends about wrestling.
Oh, so late.
Oh god, it was fucking late as shit. This would have been 2013, so...
Yeah.
One of my friends was like, "Oh, wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. Oh, it's quite good. Wrestling, wrestling, wrestling." And I was like, "Oh, maybe it is." And then I caught TNA on preview sometime after New Year's 2014. And I was like, "Oh, this is actually quite cool." And I speak to him about it. And even though I didn't watch WWE, I was adamant that TNA was probably better still. I mean, I know now I was a misguided child.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
amazing.
X's and H's, wasn't it?
It was,
So-
and I... this was during Hulk Hogan TNA as well. Let's get that out of the way. This was Hulk Hogan TNA. I was like, "Oh look, it's that Hulk Hogan guy. I know who he is." And that made me laugh.
oh, you had no idea, son.
Brooke Hogan as well. Brutal.
That fucking dirty
Oh,
affair stuff.
son
Not
of
fair.
a-
The going behind Hulk's back storyline with Bully and Brooke.
And then
Some
she
of the
was going to
greatest
turn heel.
And also
And then-
Taz. I remember Taz as well from previous conversations. But that was about the limit. And I was like, "Wrestling's cool, guys." And I got mocked. So then WrestleMania 30 went, and he said, like, "It's just been like the biggest WrestleMania ever, so you should start watching now." And I believe I watched the week of Raws before WrestleMania 30 and WrestleMania 30. And I was like, where have I been these last 10 years?
So we both got back in at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
So it was Daniel Bryan.
It was Daniel Bryan.
I just
It
want
was
to
all
put that
Daniel
out there for all the people that are like, "Oh, you know, Daniel Bryan never attracted new or
It
casual
was
viewers."
Daniel Bryan. That
And
is
no,
the
it was
reason
it
you
was
are
Bryan that got me
wasting
back
your
into it as
time.
well. Yeah.
You are wasting your talent for this because of Daniel Bryan.
Oh my god, Sam, remember when I showed you and your brother Bray Wyatt promos?
Yep, and the
Before
Shield.
he debuted.
And the Shield.
And all I got was, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this? This is shit."
I'm sure
I don't-
I'm sure
First time I saw them,
wouldn't
I
have
was
said
like,
that. I'm sure I wouldn't
oh,
have called
look,
it shit. I'm
it's
sure I
some
wouldn't have used those
hillbilly
words.
Harley said it was shit. and
I
you
believe
said,
that.
This is a bit odd.
Yeah, I probably because that is strange. It's strange for wrestling. I remember when I started watching Weekly, I still remembered that, and I was saying to Harley, like, oh, we need to keep an eye out for these Wyatts and the Shield, because Ben says they're really good. And thankfully, when I started watching, obviously, the Shield got their first real big push. Well, no, not really. They'd already been pushed, but they got that feud of Evolution and then the split and stuff, so it was a good time to start really paying attention to the Shield.
Alright then, guys. Sam, who's your all-time favourite wrestler?
What, not currently active?
All-time.
Just
Anyone.
of all time. That's
Yeah.
really hard. It's gonna have to be Triple H because he was my childhood favourite, and I can't then not pick him. Definitely between Triple H and Rob Van Dam because those were my two favourites when I was younger.
What's your your top 5 now?
From
Five
now,
time.
five time. Sorry.
I had this written down somewhere and I've lost it.
Did you actually write it down?
I actually wrote it down
That's
when
quite
I was
good.
writing it.
God, I'm just gonna have the smarkiest top 5 of all time. Everyone's gonna like roll their eyes and
Oh no,
be like,
I,
yeah,
I,
okay.
I had
the
the top
top
5.
five.
Yeah, no,
no,
you're currently on
No.
it. Yeah, I know.
Including NXT.
I know. Including or excluding?
Including.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh god.
Right. Just personal favourites then. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Neville, Sami Zayn, and Bray Wyatt.
I thought Dolph was going to make it.
There was a point where he was definitely close. It was before, but
Joseph
that was
Royal.
before I really discovered
Can-
Neville and
Don't come back to
Neville
me
and
because
Zayn.
I'm trying to remember the list and I cannot remember the list. But
Matt
there was a
McConnell.
list.
Who is your all-time favourite wrestler?
My all-time favourite, it goes to Kane without any thought behind it whatsoever. Just first guy I ever saw make an entrance and instantly I was hooked on him. Even though, like, he's had questionable booking over the years, I've always been a huge fan of him. And I still mark out for him whenever he'll come out, so, yeah, all-time favourite right there.
What was your favourite mask of his?
2002 into 2003 without a fucking doubt.
I love that mask. And
It
his
was-
theme song as well.
Yeah, it was just the best time to be a Kane fan. Like, his matches were great. I would say his feuds were great, but then it reminds me of the fact that Katie Vick's whole thing existed, and that was just
That
horrendous.
is annoying. And I think he should have won the world title.
He should have.
He
Like,
was-
I still
yeah.
think
He was
He's-
the most over on the Raw brand at that
he
time.
was. Him and Rob Van Dam, like, they should have capitalized on them too. They were so over. And Booker T as well. I still think he should have won the 2003 Rumble. Kane, that is. Like, I think it would have been massive shock whilst, like, capitalizing on a fan favorite. Like, him or Rob Van
2003?
Dam would have. Yeah, when Brock
that-
Lesnar won it.
Oh, I've seen that Royal Rumble so many times.
It's so good. Like, I think Kane or Rob Van Dam should have won that. I think they deserved it at that point. But yeah, he all-time favorite has to go to him, especially around that time.
That is a good pick. My brother would love you as well for that. What about your favourite 5?
Right. Well, would he count in that? I feel bad
Yeah.
not mentioning him twice. All right. Well, Kane obviously takes number 1. Number 2, it goes to the Ascension because I feel like I'm the only guy ever that is going to have them 2 in my top 5. And
Which one
yes,
is your favourite?
No,
There are
I'm
two
counting them as
people.
one
There are
person.
2 people.
Okay, fine. Well, if I have to, Rick Victor, fucking great.
Probably.
Are they in there just because they kind of remind you of Kane?
A little bit. There is a running trend throughout my, like, most of the guys I like, and it is because they're, you know, fucking metal as shit. Yeah, the Ascension. But if you want to say one, Rick Victor, Bray Wyatt, number 3, Sting, I'd say takes number 4, and
He's struggling.
I am struggling because there's so many people like rushing through my head. Like, I feel bad if I didn't mention them.
I do have my 5 now. There's 6 entries, because one of them's sort of like an honourable mention.
Well, Matt just picked a tag team, so I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Okay, number 5, I'll just go with...
That's not how five work. You don't just go with someone. This has
No,
to
but
be
it's just
deep
like...
and
Yeah, but there's so
interesting.
many people, like, just vying for this spot. Like, in my own head. Like, no, fuck you, pick me.
They're gonna have to have a
fucking-
10-man over the
it's a-
top rope elimination
Yeah,
match
they
to
will,
decide it.
to earn the right to be my number 5. I'm gonna go with CM Punk just because, like,
No,
from this
I
past
thought we said
era...
active.
I think
Lord.
it's
no,
active.
he's not active.
Well, neither Sting, really, but whatever.
Wait, are we
okay,
counting
fine.
injured people? Are we counting injured people?
Yes, we're counting injured people.
Alright then. Genuine mentions.
Okay,
Not
fine.
taking
Okay, well,
Rollins
at least
out.
that narrows it down a little bit more for me, I guess. Fine, screw you guys then. Dean Ambrose.
Oh, he's such a filthy mark. Oh, get off the internet.
No,
Got
you
it,
were
Joe.
forcing me here. It was a gun to my head.
Joseph Royo, who's
Of
your
all time,
favourite?
as I'm sure you will probably know, it is Mick Foley. Always has been, always.
I am shocked.
He's the guy who
I
gave me
am
nightmares
very
when I was
shocked.
7.
Da-na-na, na-na-na-na-na.
So,
As an
of the
aside
current roster-
here, Joe cosplayed as Mick Foley at last year's WrestleMania party.
I'm probably going to do it again this year because I'm lazy.
That is lazy.
Oh, come on.
I'm
You-
very
you-
lazy.
Matt
We're
and
back
I are
on
going as the
food.
Vord villains. Do you know how out there that is? Have you seen us? The Vord villains.
Hey, I think
God.
we kind of look like the Vaudevillains.
You think?
I suppose
Kind of.
I need to curl my mustache, and I'm not quite
The
sure
most
it's like
thing
that
I
right now.
remember from last year's WrestleMania was Matt dressed as CM Punk, and we did a competition of people doing their entrances who those dressed
Oh my
up
god,
as.
and Matt,
Our
Oh my
favourite
God.
Matt's
was Matt
entrance.
going full hog on the entrance.
Everyone was telling him to walk out and quit halfway through, and he got booed.
Legit heat.
I was called a quieter. I was so
I
happy to
marked
hear it.
out so hard that night.
It was great. And I hope
Alcohol played its
on that
part.
note, on that note, we should definitely do like a vlog of that night this year. And
we
get
can
it on the
try.
channel. Like for what
Right,
it's
we
worth,
will
It's gonna
try
be a
and
mess
do,
though,
like,
isn't it? Audio quality because of music and stuff.
Because
Got it, Joe.
Joe.
Top 5 on the
starting from the bottom, the honourable mention is
Now we hear.
Alberto Del Rio when he actually gives a shit about the match he is in.
That's a
'Cause-
fair shout.
He's really good when he gives a shit. But when he doesn't give a shit, like he hasn't been recently,
He's like Orton.
he's a bit bland, and it's obvious that he doesn't care. So, number 5 is Neville, but only when he was in NXT, and he was a little bit of a cunt towards the end.
I like that. See,
Yeah, same.
I would have liked to have seen them turn heel. I think they...
And how he reappeared on the NXT that's just been in his match against Balor, where he had that sense of aggression, and he wasn't like a completely clean babyface,
Mm.
but he was still like a flippy guy.
As a big Neville fan, I couldn't agree more.
Number 4 is Wade Barrett, because England.
Mhm.
Number 3, that's a joke. Yeah, it's Wade Barrett. I've really enjoyed his mannerisms, his attitude in the ring, the way he conducts himself, like the
Plus,
hopping
he's
around.
like you. He's a dirty northerner.
He's a dirty northerner, and he is forever in my heart. So is Neville. I guess Neville's a northerner as well.
Yeah.
So he's too north. He doesn't
Bordering
count.
on Scottish.
Third
You
is...
shy away from William Regal then because he's just too southern for you.
I've got 3 options staring me in the face now, and which one's that? I didn't like them in order.
And mine aren't in order either, yeah.
My third is probably then Kevin Owens, because why wouldn't it be?
Motherfucker, that's who I was thinking of.
Just class act.
Dare you steal my favourites?
Before NXT, before WWE, he's always been a pretty funny guy, but also a serious kind of funny.
He's great.
He manages to
Who
fit
is-
comedy in so well.
Number 2 is Cesaro, which I guess means you know who number 1 is. But number 2 is Cesaro, because, I mean, what don't you like about Cesaro?
Wait, is number 1 actually going to be who I think it is?
Are you ready for the drum roll, boys?
You're going to be mocked so much if I'm right.
It's actually Big E. It's not Jack Swagger.
Oh my god, it's
The
not...
Jack Swagger thing is actually a joke. I'm going to
Jack-
complain, guys.
Jack Swagger's not in his Fave 5
It's
then.
actually a joke.
Is it?
I like him, but not...
I didn't
Anyway,
think he was your
yeah.
favourite. I didn't... What? Not for one second I thought he was ever your favourite.
I always thought
I
that,
just thought
I always thought that
like-
Swagger and Sandow would make your top 5.
No.
Maybe there was a
not
time
when-
where they would then.
There was a time when they would. But
Yeah.
all
Kinda like
these
me and
other
Ziggler.
people have, like, isn't. But Ziggler probably. Maybe I would have put him above Del Rio. But I don't know. I've sort of grown bored of him.
Yeah.
Not of his own fault, but yada yada. He's been booked poor. Blah blah blah.
So yeah, Big E. Nice.
Big E, I absolutely love Big E. He's just the perfect entertainer for my tastes. That
He's brilliant.
when he did his old serious bodyguard thing for AJ Lee, he was perfect in that role. In NXT, when he was older, I need 5. Well, count to 5, you may as well, because that person's fucking dead.
3 ain't enough. I need 5.
And then with all this New Day stuff, it shows that he's also able to be fucking hilarious. Circa that time he edges Kazoo.
And
Yeah,
he
that was
can
good.
go in the ring.
And he
Oh,
can go...
definitely.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have actually watched for, but the tag match was...
Oh, when he
Oh,
catches people midair for the big end.
Oh, it was
looks great.
great.
sorry, but this has to be a spoiler, but mid-code breaker. Mid-code breaker.
That's been done quite a few times, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, but then the fact he like hoists him straight onto the shoulder, it probably has been done before, but it just looked so impressive.
Normally people end up like dumping him outside the ring or something.
I always actually get scared. Like, I value his body more than mine, because whenever he dives outside the ropes, does his spear,
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he
that
should
doesn't
I
look
save
feel
safe at
like
all.
he's gonna die.
He does it way too much. Like, I
It
think he
looks
should save
amazing,
it.
but Jesus Christ, I cringe and I have to like stand up and bite my tongue and
Yeah,
like,
that must...
it's gonna hurt.
I want him to save it so he doesn't hurt himself. Not because I'm tired of seeing it, just because I don't want him fucking himself up. Like,
Yeah, I
Del
agree.
Rio
Mm.
does it as well a lot, doesn't he?
So there you go.
Ben, favorite
Hello.
of all time, and no one gets any free guesses here.
Is it Spike
Is it?
Dudley?
No!
Is it Rhino?
I
No!
hope so.
Is
Is
it
it
Matt Hardy?
No!
Is it Bastion
I'm out of
Booger?
guesses, guys, it's just too hard.
It is the Boogeyman!
Oh my god, I didn't expect that.
No, my all-time favourite is Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, there you go, that's what I was expecting.
Jeff Hardy.
And the
And
world
my
is surprised.
favourite on the WWE roster with NXT, number 1 would be Brock Lesnar. I was a huge fan of his in his first run. Loving his second run.
Oh shit, yeah, that's what I've just realised I had the list before I asked if injured people could be on. Now they play Cesaro with Goldust.
Yeah, I was thinking Goldust. Again, in
Oh, I
that
love
huge
Goldust.
10-man battle royal to get number 5. Thinking Kevin Owens and Goldust were vying in there.
Matt, I'm saying, how many times can you say that? You've already named 5, then you're going, oh yeah, I was thinking him. Are you actually Booker T? Does your fave 5
Yeah,
change
my
every
fave
time you
5
hear
is
another
like
name?
Every single good person wrestler is in his bit. Right.
Oh, there's such a fucking library of wrestlers in my head. I'm just like, I
Is
like
Big
all of them.
Match John one of them? Because if so, we already know the answer because he's going to win.
Unfortunately,
I
Big
fucking
Match John,
don't know.
like, he's too busy off filming some military TV show at the moment, so... I mean, he probably would have won if he was there, but...
Anyway, we're disturbing Ben's fave 5.
God's sake, people.
When he got
I've
to
already
Brock.
heard Jeff Hardy. I've had, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Number 2, Finn Balor.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh. Would you prefer a face or a heel Finn Balor?
He could go both ways.
I'd go both ways.
you
for Finn.
would love that when you filthy animals.
I think he probably, as a babyface, it'd get booked like Jeff Hardy. Like, they will run like a lot of merch. They will do a lot of video promos promoting them. And as a heel, I think it'd probably get to the top more quicker as a heel.
Yeah, I agree with that. For me, he's one of those who would really benefit from having a good heel run first, and then when they turn him face, there's going to be huge money in it.
Yeah, agreed.
Number 3, Kevin Owens.
Don't say Roman Reigns.
was that?
The whole there's big money in the being a heel first and then turning face.
Oh yeah,
Did-
I think everyone.
Mentioning Roman Reigns in a discussion that has nothing to do with him, drink.
Take a drink.
God's sake, Joe. Number 3 is Kevin Owens. He is a fucking beautiful man. Number 4 will have to be The Undertaker.
I think that's the first kind of real legend of a big name that's made it into anyone's current... I mean, I know he had a man named Sting, actually, but you know what I mean.
And number 5 is tricky, but it's going to be Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Nice. Zayn made it into both of our favourites. I think there's going to be so much money in Sami Zayn as an underdog in the coming years.
I think he could be the. I think he will be the next Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. He's so likeable. Just look at his face.
Can I just throw one question out there for you guys, and we just answer it really quickly?
Go for it,
Sure.
Right.
baby.
We made this quickly, right? But most underrated wrestler of all time.
Of all time. Not even, like,
Of all
personally.
time. Not even just today, but like not from today, but like the first guy that comes into your head when I say most underrated wrestler.
Oh, God, no.
Is it going to be all of our
that's-
favourites, though?
No, just anyone.
Because I could easily see.
Is this meant to be, like,
Okay.
objective or subjective, though?
Subjective,
See, I could
like to you.
I could easily agree with Kane. I can agree with Triple H being underrated. For people saying he's only got his success from Steph. I could see who's Joe's number 1 favourite? Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Like
I could say he's
people
not-
say
I guess no, actually maybe.
To an extent, he's one of, like, the forgotten Attitude Era stars, though. Isn't
Yeah.
He? Yeah.
like he made so many stars. Like he took The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. He gave Shawn Michaels like an edgy, like he made Shawn look tough. Like before Mick Foley come around, Mankind, he was more of the good-looking moves, and with Mankind in the mix, it just showed he could mix it up.
So you're going with Mick Foley?
I'm not. I'm just saying all your favourites.
Oh God.
I
what
honestly don't know. You have no idea how much I'm thinking about this. You really sprung this
I'm-
on me.
I'm
I knew this would be a good sort of thing to discuss here. Like, it's something I've always thought to myself, like, oh, out of everyone from ever, like, who could have been so much bigger?
Daniel Bryan lol.
Lol.
Oh, just shush.
CM Punk lol. John Cena.
It's
Got it,
true.
Matt. You kick it off, mate.
Alright, well, mine, and I've been thinking about this quite a bit recently, Sean O'Hare. I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of his matches before. But
I liked his theme song, and I liked his finisher.
everything about him was just so solid. Like, he
Yeah,
had a
I don't
good
think
look.
he was underrated. I think he had personal issues, didn't he?
Oh, there was personal issues, but I think that outside of that, he was never really looked at as the full package, which he was. He had a great look, a great character, great mic skills, fantastic looking moveset, but no one got behind him. And they tried. They did try back in 2003 by putting him with Roddy Piper, but unfortunately he was fed to Hulk Hogan, who was at that time Mr. America.
Right, okay. If you had asked me this, maybe even as long as 10 years ago, I would have said Shelton Benjamin.
Nice.
But thankfully, I have the ability of hindsight, and I realise that Shelton probably didn't quite have the mic skills to get as high as his in-ring ability would have got him.
Can I say something about Shelton?
Sure.
Like, they wanted to push him, but they wanted him to do, like, he didn't want to get better. Like, he refused to, like, he just didn't want to. He didn't care. Like,
Huh.
there's a lot of stories come out saying that he just didn't want to improve his mic work.
Well, my actual answer involves attitude problems being the reason that it didn't happen as well. now that I've had time to think about it, it's William Regal.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like,
I can.
for just...
Probably the greatest
Mine's
superstar
so
to
many
never win a
reasons.
major title.
Similar as well.
I actually hated him as a kid as well, when he was a heel.
Oh,
And
with
for-
brass knuckles.
And looking
Fuck
back for, like,
me.
all the right reasons as well. What a fantastic heel, and what a fantastic talent.
Loved his feud with Edge and Rob Van Dam over the IC title when he was using the brass nuts. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
really
When I was
terrible.
little, I was like, oh, you fucking prick.
Yeah, I hated him during that. Great.
That's
He
a
was
good
a great
answer,
heel.
Sam. That's a good one.
Who you got, Joe?
So, mine is Goldust, because I think he could have been so much more.
Stone
But-
Cold said that as well.
He went through his bad phase, which if you've read his autobiography, which is available all major bookstores,
Nice
probably.
plug.
He went through a very, very, very bad time. William Regal did as well if you've read his, which he advocated me to steal one time. Which is a story for another podcast, about interactions with wrestlers that you've ever had, if any. But they've both been through horrible drug and alcohol addictions, painkillers, ruins a man. And I don't know if you guys ever seen Dustin Rhodes when he was in TNA.
That
But if he'd
was
have not-
such a good character, that could have been good. But he was fucked.
If
wasn't
he'd
he?
have not gone through that phase and he'd have just continued to get better, because he was quite good before. He's really good now. Sort of pushed now back and scale the performance getting even better. And you have a world-class performer, because he's not afraid to do anything. And it's all the characters he's ever done have suited him. Apart from the Luther, Reigns and Relic, which is killer spelled backwards in case you didn't know.
No, I think
Oh.
you mean Black Rain. I think Luther Reigns is like...
Is that a different guy?
Yeah,
I
that
think he was like one of Kurt Angle's henchmen from when he had his
SmackDown.
heel run.
Yes. Yeah, right. I'm thinking of Black Rain.
I was thinking to myself and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And I'm...
Yeah, I'm thinking of Black Rain, and he was an absolute mess. It was grotesque. I'm looking at a picture right now, and it's staring right into my soul.
Right, Ben, finally.
I'm gonna go with Umaga.
Hmm. It's a good shout.
Great
Yes.
character,
Hmm.
great in the ring.
Got fed to Cena, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Rusev, but just like 6 years early.
Great match they had though, that last man standing match.
It was really good. And
Very
it's
good
cited
match.
as one of the best like last man standing matches to date.
Like I thought the way Cena won that was good, but there was no payoff for him after, which let him down. I loved this feud with Jeff Hardy. I thought he did a really good job with his feud with Triple H,
Hmm.
but he put guys over and was never given like a nice reward, apart from a couple short IC title runs.
Yeah, you're right. Even when I was younger, I was kind of liked Umaga. Yeah.
He's good fun to watch.
Yeah.
Rest in
Rest
peace,
in peace,
Umaga.
yeah.
I just want to throw this one out there real quickly, just because I'm watching a match in the background featuring this guy.
I know I can hear it.
Raven. Fucking Raven. Another one of those guys that I think could have gone so much further if
Matt, you're
there
gonna
wasn't the
appreciate
backstage
this
politics.
one. Raven, Big Show, Kane, WrestleMania 17.
Oh, so good.
How good was that match?
Oh, it's amazing. And yes, like going back to X7 again, just one of those matches I watched so many times when I was young.
Loved
Oh,
it.
so good.
Good finish as well. Great finish.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that one out there quickly.
Nice.
But
Nice.
and this is a good time for everyone out there in the internet world to chime in here. Send us who you think is the most underrated wrestler of all time to either our Twitter or our Facebook or the YouTube or whatever the hell you're watching us on. You can find us wherever at Thank God It's Smarky. The usual places, which is probably in the description.
I mean, if you're watching, if you're listening, you're already there. You know. We don't need to tell you how
below
to.
you.
You've somehow
and
got
there
here.
it is.
I don't know how.
There's somewhere probably where you can tell us your answer.
If you're listening on iTunes, then you can either tweet us at TGIS Podcast, or you can email us at podcast@thoseguysinshorts.com.
Who emails these days? Come on.
No one, but
Yeah.
Does
I'm just giving them the option.
Smoke signals, man. Smoke signals and facts.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to us.
subscribe on YouTube.
And send us a carrier pigeon. Because that needs to come back.
Mm,
You kids with your fax machines.
very underrated. If you are listening to this, then be sure to check out our previous episodes if you haven't already. And also, this weekend will come the next episode that will talk about this current week's wrestling. So, yes, stay tuned
This
for that.
weekend being the 12th of March 2016. For those of you watching in the long future, who've gone back to laugh at how bad we were.
Buried.
We can dream. Yeah, so
Bye, guys.
we'll catch you all next time. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.